This month, the Mustang Magazine crew explored controversial topics within the walls of Nord High School. We visited the firehouse to remember firefighter Faye and traveled to Boston for a journalism conference. See all that and more on this month's edition of Mustang Magazine. Here's your hosts, Jess Murphy and Robert Way.
Hello and welcome to Mustang Magazine. I'm Jess Murphy.
And I'm Robbie Way. Recently, Nord High School has reinstated the Pledge of Allegiance at the start of the school day.
Senior reporter Lauren Plasko dives into this controversy with our first story.
The pledge has recently made its way back to NHS after a unanimous vote by the Student Council.
That's why it's happening, and it was come as a concern from the student body.
Recently, the debate club debated if the pledge should even be said in a public school.
I think it is to show patriotism. I think it is to show that you stand for this country.
You know, everyone should have the knowledge that we don't have liberty and justice for all. Because there are people in the country that, say the Pledge of Allegiance every day, and they believe with everything they have that there's liberty and justice for everyone in this country. And, things don't have to be changed, like all this stuff.
The people who fought for this pledge, fought for this country, and fought for our ability to be here and debating this, would say that it's not a waste of time.
So after the debate, the pledge was included in the morning news show.
We had to make a video, and we kind of had to figure out how to get it in there without, disrupting our time. It doesn't have a lot of time onto it, but it definitely, I think, disrupts the kids in class, when they have to stand up and then they sit back down.
Even though majority of the students support saying the Pledge of Allegiance, they also respect each other's right not to say the pledge.
I think the Pledge of Allegiance should be said in public schools because it's what America strives to be and what America stands for. And I think if you don't want to say the Pledge of Allegiance, you have the option to not say it.
I know that kids aren't forced to do it now, but unfortunately, most kids do say it just because of the negative feedback that they get when they don't say it. That's what I kind of want to eliminate, because that should be your choice.
Regardless of whether you want to say the pledge, it's now a part of the school day. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Lauren Plasko.
That was a great discussion and debate, and I'm happy Lauren was there to catch all the action.
And if you want to get more involved, you can join us at Student Council every other Wednesday in Ms. Cormier's room.
Now we're going to switch things up, going over to a Nord student who takes his extracurriculars to the next level.
Freshman Brendan Hurley has been practicing the ways of mixed martial arts for over 9 years.
It all started really at a birthday party that I went to, and I really loved it and decided to keep going with it.
Due to recent obstacles, Brendan's training has become difficult.
My knees, which I'm apparently prone to dislocating.
Because of his injuries, earning his black belt was more than just a test of his physical skills.
So mine was more of a teaching instead of physically competing for my rank. I had to know everything off the top of my head.
Now Brendan is putting that knowledge to good use as an aid for his instructors.
As of now, I'll be in a class and I'll be up in front with a sensei, which is our teacher. Really, I'll just watch them, observe them, and if they're doing anything wrong, I'll hop in and I'll fix them up, and then usually that's the group who'll get, I don't mean to brag or anything, usually that's the group that will get called out onto the floor to demonstrate the technique the next class.
And his instructor is quick to point out that Brendan is an instrumental help in teaching the kids.
He's actually at a level now where he could actually run classes, take my job. He knows enough and he's knowledgeable enough where he could be one of the best black belt instructors there are.
And for Brendan, there is more than just one benefit to teaching.
There's a few kids that when they first walk in, when I'm helping at a test, I'll see them, they're all shy and nervous like I was, and you come in the next time, they're testing for the yellow belt, and they look a little bit tougher, they look a little bit meaner, more confident, more disciplined. It's nice.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Tessa McGuire.
Thanks, Tessa. Maybe he can stop by sometime and teach us some of his skills.
That would certainly be interesting. And speaking of skills, the boys hockey team has been doing some preseason training. TJ Gover and Sean Mellon bring us the story.
Owen is known for their hockey program, but the players have to train in the off-season to carry on the tradition, and the best way of training is doing the Nord Midget Hockey program.
This midget program started several years ago. They all want to play, they all want to have fun.
It's from ages pretty much freshman to senior. It's a good time, you know, just get the legs moving, you know, just some fun hockey to play.
But it wasn't always smooth skating.
There was no ice time. And because it became such a big program, we had 40 kids this past year who have other things to do on a Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, but I think they like being here, so I enjoy being here as well.
This group of kids has been skating with each other for almost all of their lives.
Pretty close. I always said about hockey players is that you make friends at a young age, and if they stay with it, you'll have friends for the rest of your life.
It's like you make a lot of friends. It's a pretty friendly game.
Players also have the time of their lives.
It's wicked fun, you know. It's a great group of guys that do it. It's a good time, you know. We're all just out there having fun, playing some hockey, scoring a lot of goals, and you know, feeling pretty good about myself. You know.
I scored 20 goals.
Makes me pretty proud. My parents love me when I score goals.
Not only do the players have fun, but also the coaches.
I enjoy being down here and working with the boys, and seeing them from a very small age to where they are now is kind of gratifying, and seeing them, you know, mature as players, and it's fun to watch them play.
It also benefits the players during the high school hockey season.
Gets me ready for the actual hockey season. It's a good little warm-up.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm TJ Gover.
From sports to music, Norwood High students have a diverse set of talents.
Yes, and recently we found an underground musician.
Megan Henneberry and Mike Roy introduce you to Michael Scavato.
I took lessons for about 2 months, and then I quit, and then I just taught myself from there.
Senior Mike Scavato is an underground musician, but not in the way you think.
Favorite place to practice is probably down here, because no one's really around. I can just blast the music however loud I want to and practice whenever I need to.
In Mike's basement is the place to jam. Maddie Tribuna agrees.
If it wasn't for this basement, I probably wouldn't play music as much as I do. I did a recording earlier today where I mixed like 2 songs together, which I can do because his recording equipment lets me like layer songs.
And when you're making music, it's key to have the right gear.
Over here we have where all the electronics are, my mixer board and my laptop, along with a bass and some other like tweeter speakers. Over here we have my piano along with the mics and my guitars, and there's some more guitars in the cases and some distortion pedals.
A lot of the equipment down here is like good to use. I mainly use his microphone and his recording supplies because, like I said, I don't have it. I can't really play guitar that well.
Do the thing we just did, like that.
And even though Mike's basement studio is the perfect place for privacy, it does have its drawbacks.
I just need to do it one more time.
If I'm hooked up to an amp or if I'm hooked up to any of the speakers, the sound just bounces off the walls and it'll go into the microphone. It's really annoying.
But without this basement, Mike would not be able to express his passion for music.
It's just a good way to relieve whatever you have to do. Coming home from a tough day, I don't know, I like to sing and play instruments, so it's a good way to relieve your stress. If someone says you're bad, don't just let everyone else critique what you want to do, because if they do that, then the music you make is never going to be you.
Reporting from Mike's basement, I'm Megan Henneberry for Mustang Magazine.
There has been much debate amongst students and faculty about the passing time in between classes. I set out to investigate if 4 minutes was enough time to get to class. taking into consideration all the necessary stops. Here's what I found. That sound means two things to the students at Norwood High School. Either you've made it to class or you're late.
I find it really difficult to get to class in 4 minutes because like there's a whole bunch of people going to the stairs.
It's always, you had the 4 minutes in the hallway, but like if you're trying to do anything, you like don't have time to.
I like never go to my locker. There's just like not enough time in between classes.
Senior Dean, Mr. Garzinski, has a different opinion.
It shouldn't take a minute and a half more to go to your locker and not chat on your way. I know that's a lot of the kids do. They get caught up talking.
Administrators Mr. Garzinski and Ms. Shakoy decided to time out a route for themselves.
She went up one stairwell, I went a different way and went up another stairwell. We met at the farthest, what is it, 312, I think is the corner room, in 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes seems fair, but what if you need to go to your locker? I decided to do the same experiment, including a locker stop. I started at the boys' locker room, then went up to the second floor to make a locker stop. Then I continued up to the third floor to room 312. Our final time was 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
A lot of kids aren't using their lockers. A lot of kids are just putting all their stuff in their backpacks and taking their backpacks to classes.
However, this backpack situation is not one to be taken lightly.
The potential effects of a heavy backpack on a student can cause back pain, can cause neuroskeletal pain specifically, so they might also have joint pain along their spine.
And for students like Nikki Nguyen, carrying a heavy backpack meant also having to see a doctor.
Yeah, I had to go to physical therapy because my backpack was so heavy and I had to carry 3 textbooks at once to class.
But even if you have a heavy backpack, that doesn't necessarily mean you will get a backache.
I would recommend wearing the backpack correctly, which would mean wearing it on both shoulders, using both straps instead of the one strap, so that it's evenly distributed the weight.
Locker stop or not, teachers still expect students to be on time. Nearly 90% of teachers surveyed agree that 4 minutes is enough time.
I think that students have enough time to get to their classes. 99% of them come to class, so I think that 1% needs to just hustle and bustle.
However, there are a few that disagree.
I definitely do not think students have enough time in between classes. I think all we have to do is just look around for evidence of that. In my classes, I see students are walking around with enormous full book bags. So that leads me to believe that they don't have enough time to go, to their locker during the day.
Increasing passing time is something administration is willing to talk about.
If they really want to add that extra minute back, so what's it going to add 5 minutes to our day? So do we want to be here to 2:28 then?
So it looks like there's some room for negotiation. But as it stands right now, you have 4 minutes to get to class or you're late. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Jess Murphy.
That certainly has been a hot debate within the halls of Norwood High School.
Definitely has. Next up, we go hiking through Asia without leaving the Norwood High Library. Reporters Taylor Reed and Taylor White bring us the story.
Travelling around Southeast Asia. It wasn't last summer, it was quite a long time ago now.
Italian teacher Mr. Evans shared his sights and experiences about his trip to Southeast Asia he took back in January 1997.
Hospitality of people, they're amazing, just would welcome us into their homes, we could stay there, they didn't want anything in return. I think saw some amazing animals. We saw these huge monitor lizards that were, I don't know, like 9-10 feet long. Monkeys, orangutans, all sorts of different things. The rice terraces that stretched for hundreds and hundreds of miles, they were incredible.
Librarian Miss Goldman was the coordinator of Mr. Evans' presentation in hopes of learning about other cultures.
Mr. Evans pointed out that people were so gracious, so welcoming. the history that you're seeing and the art that you're seeing. I mean, it's just stunning.
One person who is aware of the good nature of Southeast Asia's culture is NHS teacher Miss Wong.
I grew up in Malaysia, and I wanted to see if, when he talks about Southeast Asia, if Malaysia is going to be part of that journey that it reminds me of home, and I want to definitely go to some of these places one of these days.
Presentations like Mr. Evans are rare, and many students and teachers are hungry for more.
We should have more things like that. Yeah. Presentations that get students involved with the teachers or teachers involved with the students, because it gives us like an insight into teachers' lives or vice versa.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Taylor White.
On the subject of trips, Mustang Magazine had one of their own. Check out what we did in Boston.
From the NHS-TV program attended the NSBA JEA Journalism Convention in Boston last month.
Basically just a convention where you can get different teachers and, as you can see behind me, colleges that will come and give you information about what you want to do if you want to proceed with a future in journalism.
Some students took part in an advanced video production workshop where they learned some new journalism skills.
So far I've learned better techniques for my shooting, how to write my scripts better, and just like how to make my stories a little more interesting and a little easier for the people to watch.
They were also assigned a project to challenge the skills they had just learned.
We had to go out and find a story to shoot, and then we had to shoot it within 4 hours and have it shot, edited, and written, and then passed in by 4 so that as the class, we all watched it and then critiqued the stories that we made so that we can learn from what we have done that day.
Students from all over the country received training from veteran broadcast teacher Dave Davis.
Well, first of all, it's good for young journalists to be around other young journalists. You can only learn more by being around people who are passionate about it, and not just passionate about it, but good at it. And hopefully they'll see people here that are doing some things that will inspire them to take it up a notch themselves. And what we're trying to do is give tips and suggestions for story gathering and storytelling so that kids have a better chance back at their home schools.
Along with workshops, there were opportunities to network with representatives from many different colleges, advertising their journalism and broadcasting programs.
A lot of these colleges seem to have a lot of things to give, and a lot of programs that can be beneficial to someone who would want to have a career in journalism. So seeing all the colleges here and getting information on what they have was definitely beneficial for me.
And hopefully all of the NHS-TV students left with a better understanding of broadcast journalism. Reporting from Boston, I'm Brian King from Mustang Magazine.
That really was a great experience.
For our next story, we say goodbye to a local firefighter, Faye McDonough. Brittany and Kristen Folan bring us the story.
Out! 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 Everybody out! I can't go.
Firefighter Faye was a member of the Norwood Fire Department. The most important thing she did was hatch the Safe Education program.
She did many things, but if I was to prioritize and to visit some of the most important things that she did was she was our Safe Education Officer, which is a program that's put on through the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to deliver the message of fire safety to the children K through 5 in the school system. She really had an ability to connect to the young people in this town.
Definitely trying on all the equipment that she had to wear during the fires. It was really big and fun, but that was probably my favorite.
Firefighter Faye faced the challenge of entering into a man's world, but that was no problem for her.
She was accepted immediately and impacted this fire department from the day she came in October of '84 to the day that she retired.
Because of the many things she did for the community of Norwood, Firefighter Faye will never be forgotten.
You can't go anywhere around town without somebody who knew Firefighter Faye, and pretty much a couple of generations of Norwood High School students grew up with Firefighter Faye. They learned their stop, drop, and roll and their escape routes, and she really was very impressive on the fire ground as well.
You knew that Faye, when she came in, was committed to the job on that day, on that particular shift. She did a terrific job, and she was great at what she did.
But unfortunately, her hard work came to an end when she passed away last September. Even though she is no longer with us, she left a lasting impact on the community.
She always was really happy, and like, I don't know, she was always like, she influenced me to like always have a smile on my face. And
we're going to miss her tremendously. She was a sparkle, she was a guiding light, but her legacy will always live on through that education program.
She was an outstanding firefighter, and I know her heart was in the schools, and it really made her feel good to teach you kids something. And that's something I can always look back on and be very proud.
For Mustang Magazine, I'm Kristen Follen.
Her legacy will certainly live on in our community.
Absolutely. And our next story also comes from our community.
Yes, reporters Meg Norton and Kelly Erker bring us on the inside scoop of Cradles to Crayons.
Cradles to Crayons is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing everyday essentials to children in need.
So at the holiday time, Mrs. Shakoy and I started a holiday drive where we would have the kids decorate the boxes at Friendship Club, and then we would put them at different corners of the building, and then we would have announcements and posters up, and they would then have students and faculty donate at that time.
The donated items are then delivered to Cradles to Crayons.
And we're dedicated to providing the everyday essentials that children need to thrive at home, at school, and at play. And we're able to provide these everyday essentials by connecting and engaging communities that have with communities that need.
The community can donate items for kids of all ages.
We take most children's items, so books. We serve kids from birth all the way to age 12. So we take nursery items, bedding, toys, arts and crafts and school supplies, everything you can imagine a child from birth to age 12 needing for school, for home life, etc.
It's really for kids that need help and have difficulty in their life where they need, clothes and things to survive.
To figure out how you can get more involved, visit www.cradlestocrayons.org. From Mustang Magazine, I'm Katherine King.
Incredible. I never knew how much goes into making an organization like that run.
It's always so nice to see people helping others during this holiday season.
And I know some dancers who certainly know how to brighten someone's day with a little bit of holiday cheer.
Every year during the holiday season, K&M Dance Studio in Norwood dances at Sunrise Assisted Living.
Today we're dancing for the residents at Sunrise Assisted Living.
We're dancing here today because it's a tradition at K&M. We've been doing it for as long as I can remember.
Every year K&M comes during Christmas time to dance for the elderly people.
5 different groups performed holiday-themed dances.
We did a cute little tap number today. Yeah, it was tap.
The residents at Sunrise look forward to the dancers coming every year.
We like dancing for them every year because it spreads joy and is really fun for everyone.
My favorite part about dancing here is like seeing all the people and also listening to Christmas music.
I love seeing the smiles on all their faces. It really makes me happy.
From Mustang Magazine, I'm Alex Avakian.
That clip certainly brightened my day.
And on that note, we have come to the end of this edition of Mustang Magazine.
But don't forget, you can find us at NHS-TV.org or hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
And we'll be back next month with more stories on the next edition of Mustang Magazine. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. And I'm Sean Mellon.
I messed up. I messed
on the
up
teleprompter.
investigate. So let's do that again.
That was fun.
Next up, we go hiking through Asia without leaving the Norwood High.
You. I got you. Come here.
Okay. Are you sure he was like?
I was
He was moving.
Next one or this one? Okay.
Okay.
When you're talking to nobody. So he's a nobody. I think that's what you're saying. Okay.
Sunny is the voice of God.
Well, on the subject of trips, Mustang Magazine had one of their own.
Why is he laughing?
He just laughs randomly. He has those spurts.
No!